Maa Sarala temple located in Jagatsinghpur, Odisha. It is one of the 8 most famous Shakta shrines of Odisha. In our culture, Maa Sarala, Mother Sarala is a goddess who acts as a patron of the followers of Vaishnav and Shakta. It is rare for a single deity to straddle both of these Hindu denominations. She is sometimes suspected to be a Buddhist tantric figure as she holds a book, Veena and handbell, which are Mahayana symbols. Goddess Sarala is also known as Vak Devi, the goddess of knowledge and wisdom, and Jhankad Vaasini Sharada. Folklore regarding the goddess goes back to thousands of years, to the age of Parashurama. It is said that it was the god Parashurama who carved the goddess with the tip of his arrow. The worship of the goddess is said to have been popularized in the 15th century CE by Sidheshwar Parida, a small-time farmer and part-time Odia Paika. He was an ardent follower of the goddess and later became Sarala Das, the author of the Odia Mahabharata. At many points and on many occasions, he calls Goddess Sarala as Durga, Aparna, Parvati, Narayani, Bhavani, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, Katyayini, Mahasaraswati, Chandi, Ugratara, Bhairavi, Bhagavati, Mangala, Hingula, Tripura, Vasuli, Bharati, Maha Yogeswari, Tarini, Ambiga, Charchiga, Kamala, Parama Vaisnavi and Maheswari, etc. The current temple is approximately 500 years old and was built by the Raja of Manijanga. The remnants of the old temple are not visible, but folklore suggests that it was sited at Bada Sarol, where a temple to Ganesha now stands. Many festivals are celebrated in the temple, including Parama, Sharadiya Utsav, Pana Sankranti, Dola Purnima and Chandan Jatra. The people of the Kendrapara, Jagatsinghpur and Cuttack districts are so attached to the goddess that they make it a point to visit the temple at least once per year. The Maa Sarala temple is one of the most historically significant expressions of Shaktism. It is believed that the temple in the village of Sarala, Kanagapur of the Jagatsinghpur district on the eastern coast of India represents Goddess Sarala's heavenly abode. The goddess herself represents a synthesis of the divine figures of Durga and Matangi. The sanctum sanctorum of the main temple contains 3 idols of the goddess. The main idol carved out of stone is an 8-armed figure of the goddess with her right foot on a lion, in the classic posture of Durga destroying the demon Mahishasura. She holds a sword, trishul, manuscript and lute or veena in her right hands and a disc, patisha, bow, karmuka, bell, ghanta and the head of the demon in her left hands. The second idol is 4-armed, holding a shankha and a chakram and making gestures of gift-giving Varada Mudra and fearlessness Abhaya Mudra. The third idol is 2-armed, made out of 8 precious metals, Ashtadhatu. The idols are taken out of the temple for different ceremonial occasions. Some important ceremonies are still observed in the old shrine. The processional idol Chalanti Vigraha of Sarala is brought in a gorgeous palanquin from the present temple to the old temple 7 times in a year to commemorate the ancient rituals. The idol of the deity is ceremoniously installed on the old throne where she had been worshipped for centuries. A male goat was traditionally sacrificed at the old temple in a Panchayatna Puja as the last ritual during the festival of Dashera. The New Year festival, Pana Sankranti, is the most important festival when devotees dance on fire to complete their vow to the goddess. The festival of Dola Purnima is also observed with pomp and ceremony. At this festival, Goddess Sarala is worshipped along with other deities, signifying that Maa Sarala is an amalgamation of parts of the Vedic, tantric and Vaishnavic traditions. Tantric Shaktism began in the 7th century. Shaktism holds that the mother goddess Matru Shakti is the source of power and of highest spiritual bliss. During the early Bhaumakar rule in 736 AD, the 8-armed Mahinsamardini Durga appeared in the sculptural masterpieces of Odisha. Some 8-armed Mahinsamardini idols found in other parts of Odisha in the 8th century resembled the goddess Sarala. Archaeologists and scholars have concluded that the worship of the goddess Sarala in Jhankad began during the 8th century CE. The worship of the goddess was popularized in the 15th century CE by the work of Sidheshwar Parida, a small-time farmer and part-time Odia Paika. He was an ardent follower of the goddess and later took the name Sarala Das, the servant of Maa Sarala. He became the foremost poet of Oriya literature, composing the great epics Odia Mahabharata, Bilanka Ramayana, Chandipuran and Lakshmi Narayan Bachanika. He attributed the composition of these works to divine inspiration by the goddess. In one legend, the goddess's origins date back to the 6th incarnation of Vishnu, Parashurama the Brahmin warrior. During his travels, Parashurama swam in the river Chandrabhaga and took a rest under a banyan tree. While meditating, he became aware of a power, Shakti, that had been hidden and decided to have self-expression. He recovered a shining stone, Parasmani Shila, a form of glittering basalt, from underneath the earth and carved the divine image of the goddess with his arrow. The goddess was named Sharada since her image was carved out by the arrow of Parashurama. The Mahavishubha Pana Sankranti Jhamu Yatra, otherwise known as the Fire Walking Festival, is one of the important festivals of the goddess. Sudra Sevaks belonging to the Raul caste wear picturesque costumes and dance barefooted over burning charcoals. In the autumn, the Durga Puja is one of the greatest festivals in the Devi Pita. Sodasha Upachara Puja takes place twice daily during this period. Chandan Jatra begins on Akshaya Tritiya and is observed for 21 days. It is unique festival of the Shakta shrine as the deity is worshipped here as Parama Vaisnavi. The Nabanna occurs at the time of Odisha's harvesting season in the first week of Agrahayana. Different types of foods are prepared for the deity from the newly harvested crops and offered to the deity through Sodasha Upachara Puja. Jai Mata Di.